Okay, hi, hello, assalamu alaikum, and very good day to you. Okay, in today's class, we're going to learn about how to make inferences. What does it mean by inferences? Okay, inference is take what you know and make a guess. So this is more like intelligent guessing. You just not like wild guess when you see some text and then you guess, that must be it, or by chance. Okay, but for inference in text, you have to draw personal meaning from text, words, or pictures. You use the clues to come to your own conclusions. Because when you read, you are reading what the author's writing, so you are going to make sense of the information and then you draw your own conclusion based from the given information. Because sometimes the author do not give you every information. So you as reader, you have to do like some work lah, okay, in order to guess what the author means. That is what we call as inferences. Okay, now we look at this picture. What does this image tell you? Okay, what experience do you have with this kind of picture? Okay, here we have this cute cat, which is Garfield, but we have this symbol. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, yeah, no cats, because you already have ideas. When you see this, means no, and then this one is a picture of a cat. Okay, so no cats. Okay, you can ask question like this one. What did I already know that helped me to make that inference? Did I use picture or written clues? So these are the questions that you can ask. Okay, now, how about this one? Okay, maybe I will make it big so that you can see the writing here. Okay, here we have a female person. So this is, no, we can assume that this is the mother. And then we have this toddler or little kid. Okay, can you guess what does it mean? What can you infer from this situation? Here we can see that the mom's face is like very irritated or angry while she is holding the cookies jar. And then here we have this little boy, and then you can see the hands here. Okay, like this one. So it means like maybe he didn't know. Now we read at the below of the comic strip. And the darn ants kept carrying them away, crumb by crumb, until they were all gone. That's my opinion. So, from this conversation or this line, we can guess this is probably what this little boy would say. Okay, so from this comic strip, we can infer that this little boy might give opinion about how the cookies have gone. But when we look at the mom strip, I think she can already guess. It's not the ant's fault, but this little boy's fault. Okay, so the mom assumed that most probably this little boy actually ate all of the cookies in the cookie jar. Okay, because this one picture, right? So for picture, it was of 1,000 words. So you can infer many things based from the same comic. Okay. So in this case, we can also infer that most probably the little boy is cheating too, because we can see the crumbs here. Okay, it is actually around the little boy. So most probably that this little boy has eaten all of the cookies. Okay, next. Okay, so like the example just now, did you use words, graphs, or picture clues to help you make a guess about what the cartoon meant? Okay, in my case just now, so maybe you also see the cartoon just now. Yes, we did use the words, pictures in order to guess about what the cartoon meant. Okay, how about this one? Okay, here we have this comic strip about this little boy and his pet tiger. Okay, let's see. Okay, this little boy said, You can draw something besides tigers, can't you? Sure, leopards, pumas, ocelots, you name it. Okay? Based from this comic strip. Can he draw more than tigers? Yes or no? Yeah. Means he just knows how to draw tigers because leopards, pumas, and ocelots, these are another species of tigers. Okay. Okay, what is inference? So inferences are often referred to as what you read between the lines. Something that is not there, but you have to figure out what is it. The meaning is really found between your ears. Okay, it's in the middle. We do not know where, but it is there. So inferences are what the author implies or suggests. The author wants you, as the reader, to make the jump to the same conclusion as the author has made. So when the author implies something, the reader has to infer. So inferences here is more requires more of critical thinking, and then you have to make your own guessing based from the clues given, because sometimes author do not want to give like, everything to you, like sometimes like me or some other lecturers do not want to give everything to you, so they will give like some examples, some bits of information, and then you have to jump to your own conclusion. What is it? So you have to make some decisions, so you have to make some guessing, so that way you can actually learn something from the text or from the or anything that you have read. What happens when you read? So this one are some strategies that you can do, and then what happened during your read. So while you read, your inside voice probably like make some guesses and then finds connecting points from what you already know, and then from what you have based from your experience. And then sometimes you also ask questions and makes predictions based on the given text. So this is one types of how you can personalize your reading. Sometimes your author will give us the same information, but many people will have like different opinion about that. Okay, this one you will use background knowledge in order to interpret what the author wants. So this is what we call as active reading. You just not read and then put it inside your head and just waiting to vomit it out. Okay, but this one requires more of thinking whether it is true or not. You can also question the author's intention actually. Okay, so this is what we call as critical reading or active reading. Okay, inference in real life. So I think these you are quite familiar to all of you. Like the word CSI, Law and Order, NCIS, Criminal Minds. All of these shows are related to like investigation, crime scene investigation. If you look at this one, you can see how does they find clues in order to solve a mystery. So this one you can also apply it when reading. But in reading you have to base it on the purpose. Why do you want to read the text? Or if in exam situation, you are going to look at the prompts or the questions, what the question really asks, and then you are going to find the clues from the text. How do good readers make inferences? So these are the ways on how you can make inferences. First, you refer to the word or text in text clues, okay, in the given text, and look at the pictures. Define unknown words. So this one, you use like contextual clues. But if the words is like very technical term, then you can go to dictionaries to find what is exact meaning. Look for emotion, feelings. Sometimes in the text they use like emotive words, like to show a certain feelings. Okay, so you can look for these emotions, and then use what they already know. So whatever that you know, that you can apply it as well. And then look for explanations for events. Remember, like in any text, we have like main idea, topic sentence, and you have the supporting details. Then you can look what are the explanation for that topic sentence or for that information, and then ask themselves questions. So This one themselves refer to you as the good readers. So you ask questions. You can question the truth or the validity of the information. So that what makes a good reader. Okay, we look at this example. Make another inference. Okay, this is an example. Okay, Tommy and Sarah just got off the school bus. Sarah said, I smell smoke. Tommy pointed and yelled, Sarah, look at the smoke coming out of that house. So in a moment, they both heard what sounded like a fire engine siren. Again, based from this situation. So can you guess what the passage suggests? Okay, A, B, C, or D? What do you think? Smell smoke and then it coming out from a house. So we can guess that might be a fire. And then in the moment they heard fire engine siren. So this one we can infer that someone called to report it. That's why there was fire engine siren. Okay, that is how you can infer from the situation. Okay, another example or another skills is drawing conclusion. So just now making inferences and this is drawing conclusion. Okay, this one author uses description and gives hints instead of giving away too much information. So usually the reader needs to draw a conclusion about what the author means. This one, conclusion, inference are actually the same. Okay, actually the same. The way that you want to guess the what the author really wants to tell you are actually the same. The strategies where you have to identify uh, the the clues and then you have to guess the meanings. Then you have to look at the relevant information. So the strategies in order to draw conclusion and inference are the same, just slightly different in terms of the depth. Okay, in inference and conclusions. Is it important? Okay, why is it important? So it is really important because sometimes the author will describe story elements rather than directly tell you where, when, who, and so forth. Okay, because they want to make the reader more engaged with the story. Okay, makes them to be like active reader to think about what the author wants to deliver. We need to draw conclusions in order to understand the important parts of a story or any text. Okay, this one I ask, are there any differences? Yes, there are differences and also a bit of similarities. Okay, inferences here is the process of figuring out missing information from the given information. And then conclusion or the judgment, opinion, or decision reached based on information learned. So this one, conclusion, it requires reasoning and deep thinking and observation skills. So based from this, we can say inferences, maybe you want to infer like one information. Okay, you have like several bits of clues and then you infer one information. But for conclusions, it is much deeper where you are going to judge or give some opinion, decision about that text. And then this one, maybe you are going to infer based from the inferences that you have inferred before. Okay, there are many inferences, and then lastly, you come to one conclusion. Okay, so usually for conclusion, you have like only one sentence. Okay, where to conclude the whole situation. Okay, in terms of similarities, both requires observation of facts, arguments, and information given in the text where you have to identify the clues. And then also you have to consider what you already know from your own experiences. Like reading, you have to relate what you already know and make connections with the text. And then they also use the same techniques such as making connections, identifying clues from the pictures, and others. Okay, just the depth, okay, of inferences and conclusion that is different. Okay, so you have to just read the question whether they ask you to conclude or they just want to for you to infer to a specific information. Okay, this is an example of a passage, and then I would like you to read it. Okay, this text is an excerpt from Young Goodman Brown by Nathaniel Hawthorne. So if you want to read more, then you can pause the video. Okay, so from these excerpts, so there are two questions. Okay, the first one, what can be inferred about faith in the passage? What do you think? Okay, so you have to read carefully and then identify the clues. You have the word faith here. Okay, how about the second one? Based on what happens at the end of the passage, the reader can conclude that young Goodman Brown is what? Okay, if you look at the answers here, the answer is she is trusting. Okay, something that can be trusted lah. Okay, in these situations. And then number two, the reader can conclude that young Goodman Brown is optimistic about his future with faith. Okay, so this is what you need to know. Authors versus readers. Authors imply, readers infer. So for you later on when you want to write, you can use these examples. Okay, you don't have like to tell everything to your reader, so you can let the readers to infer what you are writing. Authors make implications that readers have to infer. So good readers are detectives who are always looking out for clues to help them better understand stories and pictures. Okay, so that's the end for making inferences. Okay, now I would like you to go to Microsoft Teams. I have assigned a assignment to you. Actually, the assignment is based from page, okay, page 87. Okay, okay, but I have make it in the form of form. So you don't have to snapshot this page inside the Microsoft Teams. So what you need to do is you just answer it, okay, on Teams. Okay, I think that's all for today. So thank you for watching. Bye.